one of the things you said is, I didn't tell you any of the stories. And you told me an absolute perler of a story from a kart circuit I'd never heard of. I didn't even know there was a kart circuit. So tell that story again. Tell the location, because it's just...
Well,
Go on, say it
Morecambe
again.
was a circuit that was right on the beach. It was a cliff face, and there was a barrier run down one side, and it was pretty much two long straights. You came down a steep hill like Rowra to start. It went down into a dip, and it started to rise, and it went down pretty quickly. It started to rise. The start finish line was there. There was a kink to the left, and then you went into a right-hander up a really steep hill, right-hander, and then you came down a long. It was a 250 circuit, basically.
Right.
Down this long straight, and it was quite steep.
Was it in 250 kart, as in gearbox kart?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a long circuit, as we'd just say back in the day, right?
At that time, they weren't quite long circuits. It was a class 1 with an engine on the other side, and I mean, we're talking quite a long time ago. It was in the days of Bultaco, and I don't know if you've even heard of that.
I have heard of them. Yeah.
Okay. So that was the circuit. There wasn't really. You had to be very good on the two corners. That was about the size of it.
It was just like, what, 2 hairpins and...
Well, no, it was one hairpin and then a right-hander that went up a steep hill, really steep, and another right-hander. You went about 30 yards, and then another right-hander, and you came down this long hill. And at the top of the hill, you could actually see the beach, which was about 200 feet down off the cliff face, but there was a wooden barrier that stopped you from going down there, or was supposed to. But I can remember just a young lad, a junior, hadn't long started. I can't remember. It was my first season, early doors, and final came. We were racing and in the lead, and every single time I'd get into the lead, the guy coming back down the hill, obviously had another sprocket on, he would just come past, just drive past, no effort. He could pull in and brake for the hairpin. I was gabbed, and as soon as we came out the hairpin to go back up the hill, I'd pass him again. Every single lap this happened, and I'm saying, I'm going round here, and I'm going to get whopped. I need to do something. And at that time, I wasn't into... I've never really been into taking people out or whatever, but there's all sorts going through your head. It was like you could see this coming, and there was nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, it's almost like a slipstreamer at Monza or at Snetterton back in the day when you used to go through like Rich's Sear. It's like you don't want to be leading onto the last lap there.
Well, the problem was it was inevitable what was going to happen, because I was getting past him going up the hill, but I didn't pass him till after the start-finish line. So unless he made a big mistake, it wasn't going to happen. And I can remember thinking, I got an idea. I thought it was like a brilliant idea. So he was always coming past me, 3/4 way down. It was a long straight, as I was saying. And I can remember he came alongside me and he looked at me. He just, with that it felt like a really smarmy look and all the rest of it, because it was the last lap and he was just about to win. And I leaned across and I just went bop and choked his carburetor. Whoosh! And I thought, brilliant! Down through the hairpin, he's behind me. I won. And it was like, I was waiting on when I got back to the pits, like my old man being really buzzing and happy. Oh, I got a doing for impeding another driver or whatever it was. I didn't realise that my old man had got shit off everybody standing there, but I can remember I got shit off him. However, I still won the race and whatever, and I can remember.
Did you get to keep the win?
Yeah, they let me keep the win. It was ungentlemanly. The dads were saying it was ungentlemanly, and it was because everybody saw it. I honestly didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I thought that I'd thought outside the box. It was really clever.
Yeah.
And we gets to the gate as we're going out in the car. There was silence in the car, and we're driving away. And my old man turned and looked at me, and I was waiting for it, and he went, "Brilliant, fucking brilliant." I didn't know what to think. He says, that was excellent to watch. He says, I got some shit, he says, but I would do it again. It was brilliant. And that was the best bit for me of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it was the fact that I came up with an idea. It wasn't the best idea in the world, but it got the result, if you know what I mean. And I don't know, would I do it again? Of course I would.
Brilliant. Amazing.
Good one.
That was brilliant. And didn't you say something like along the lines of, well, why did you bollock me?
Oh, that's right. That's what happened. He said to me, I said, what did I get a bollocking for? Why was it a big deal? And that was when he said, it was good. It was good. I did get a bollocking when I came in. I was shocked. I was disappointed because I was waiting for, like, I'm a hero. I'd won, and I'd won by using ingenuity and whatever, and it was just the opposite. I felt deflated. But inside there was still that wee thing going, oh, God, I'm fucked.
And he say something like that, and he goes, why did you bollock me? That was for them. That was for them.
That's it. Why did you bollock me? Yeah, that was for them. Did I tell you that?
Yeah. That's. I was just like, when you told me that the other night, I've got to get that story. I've got to get that story on film. Well, that was absolutely priceless.
I'm trying to think what I told you rather than think about what happened.
Yeah. Well, there's another one, right? And I've retold this story a few times. Like, this is the genius of Bryce Wilson, right? And you may or may not remember this.
Oh,
so dear. PF, I can get into trouble here, but it's fucking brilliant as a story. And I was just like, that was so clever. So PF, it was the race that you came to, and well, I don't know if it was the race that you came to do when you went, literally, we were all within like a gnat's ninja of each other, fighting for a national, Super One championship, and you came up and you were just like up the road. Oh, fucking hell, it's this old boy. And then, but I think it was in that one race where, so PF used to be before. Do you know it goes under the? Well, it goes under a bridge now.
Yeah.
When it first opened, it was like start finish line. Then it was a like 90 right into another 90 right, or it was just one long corner,
and
then it went
like
down.
Rye House top corner type thing.
Yes, correct. Yeah. It was, yeah. And then it went into the hairpin that's still there now. So that hairpin, something happened. Now whatever draw that I got, it was just one of the heats, so it was kind of luck of the grid draw, and I was somewhere, I don't know, 10th or something in the pack, and you must have been behind me. So going to like the second corner, and then going into after that hairpin, then there's a left-hander, and then we're just going into the chicane, a red flag. And I'm like, it might have, it maybe through the chicane, maybe into, it was been a little bit longer. It's probably 20 seconds or so after I've gone through the first hairpin. Red flag. So, red flag. Okay. So came round and then looked to start. I think we stopped on the start finish line and looked across, and there was this cart that was upside down. It's upside down. Oh, fucking hell, someone's rolled it. Right, okay. So now you're remembering this one, aren't you?
No, I don't
This
remember.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh,
So
no.
I remember talking to you, and I can't remember if it was on the same weekend, but I remember you telling me it's like, yeah. I was involved in that, but I managed to get restarted. I was like, how the fuck did you manage to get restarted? He said, and remember you saying that. See how I've just said? He
Yeah.
said. I've told this story.
Well,
Like, remember you said, go on, tell the story of what you did.
it was actually the final.
Was it?
Yeah, and I think I'd won 2 heats.
Right.
We broke a rotary valve in one of the heats.
Okay.
So I started about, I don't know, 12 or something on the grid.
Yeah.
Middle field. And there was a bit of a scramash in front of me coming into that hairpin. And I wasn't involved in it.
Yep.
I'd decided to go to the outside because it looked like the scramash was going in the way, and a cart darted out from it, and I had to stop.
Yeah.
My race was over. But then another car had gone upside down.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, how lucky can you actually be? So the guy's foot was sticking through the bumper, and he went to push it off him, and I jumped out the car to help him, obviously, and I kept his foot through the bumper. I kept a hold of him, and I'm saying, "Stay still, we'll get it off you. Stay still. Your foot's twisted through the." And he's listening to me. Poor guy. I mean, he wasn't in pain or anything like that.
No.
But everybody looking on, this cart was upside, and the guy's foot was sticking through the bumper.
Yeah.
And as soon as the red flag came out,
Didn't you wave your hand in the air to encourage the red flag?
Yeah. I'm going like this, you know. And then the red flag came out. And as soon as the red flag came out, we lifted the cart off the guy. I mean, it wasn't as if it was just upside down on top of him. That was nothing major. So then bump started and came round to the grid. And who was the clerk of the course? Clayton.
Steve Clayton. Now, I'm friends with Steve Clayton on Facebook, so I hope to God he sees this.
Yeah, well, I can remember it clearly. He said to me, "You can't restart. You were involved in the accident." I says, "I'm sorry, Steve, but you're wrong." And he was kind of surprised. I says, "You'll probably find, if you ask the marshals, that I wasn't involved in the accident. I saw that the guy was upside down as I was behind him." I says, "And I stopped." I says, "I stopped. The track looked like it was going to be blocked anyway, and I took it for granted, the size of the accident, that the race would be stopped." I says, "And I helped the guy." And he went away, and if you remember, it was held up for a long time.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He spoke to this one and that one and all the rest of it, and came back and said, "Right, okay, you can start again in your original grid position." Won a watch. I went on and won it.
Did you win that race? Because
Yeah,
I remember my card went off in that race. So you won that race, did you?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We won that from a lucky situation.
Yeah,
it was like else's bad luck, but it was. Well, that's what it's about. You know, you've got to capitalise on everything.
It was just brilliant. It was so quick thinking doing that, and it was something that I would never have even considered. But it shows kind of the experience. But I was just like, that was fucking genius. Well, it was absolute genius.
Some people would say that. Some people would say it's very ungentlemanly. It's not right. It's I don't care. At the end of the day, it's about winning, and that's probably the closest thing to the bone that I've done. I've done lots of bits and pieces, but after that, I thought to myself, that lad could have been hurt. He wasn't, and I kind of knew he wasn't. But
yeah,
that was as far as I was prepared to. But that was my first race back after many, many years away, and my brain was rusty.
You made us all look like a bunch of knobs, basically. You did. You literally rocked up.
Oh, dear.
This whole bike turns up and just blows us all away.
Well,
It's just like, and that's when Paul Carr said, "You've all got a lot of work to do."
well, you know, it's the same old story. My old man used to always say that you don't need to be good when you're as lucky as Bryce.
Oh, mate, that was the best story ever.
There's plenty stories like that.